Welcome Year 8. This is a flip learning video to introduce you to your new dance unit, Capoeira. On this slide is an overview of your learning. So as you can see top left, looking at what you have previously learnt, so in Year 7 you learnt a variety of dance skills such as actions, dynamics, different uses of space, as well as exploring a variety of dance styles which included ballet, contemporary, street dance and also Bollywood. What we are focusing on now in Year 8 in your first unit is the Brazilian dance style Capoeira and also the physical skills that are required to perform in this style, and thinking about what you are going to be learning in the future are to develop knowledge of Capoeira's African heritage and also to learn 2 new key movements. So having a think about that and thinking about how does this link to your wider learning, so beyond dance. So it will deepen your learning because Capoeira is a style in the GCSE anthology, which is one of the works that you study as Alina Curva. Capoeira also will increase your knowledge and dance skills. This will also broaden your learning because it links to history of America and the slaves, and also increases your knowledge of Brazilian culture. To support your learning in this unit, we have created a frog site which has all the Key Stage 3 key dance skills, and for each unit there are the choreography and performance skills which are listed with the definitions. So obviously, how do you find it? Okay, what you need to do is you need to log into Frog, and then in the search bar you need to type KS3 dance key skills, and then it should come up with something that looks, when you click on it, like the image on the bottom right, and then click on the Year 8 tab sort of towards the top of the left hand side of the page. Obviously making sure you're clicking on Year 8 and then scrolling down to the correct unit to find the skills that you will be learning. So as you can see here, this unit title will be Capoeira. Okay, so in a moment I just want you to pause the video and spend just maybe 1 minute thinking about what you can remember from your very first lesson in Capoeira. So pause the video now and just spend 1 minute having a quick think of what you can remember. Okay, so let's see what you can remember. What is Capoeira? So Capoeira is an Afro-Brazilian martial art that combines elements of dance, acrobatics and music. It was developed by African slaves who used it to disguise the fact that they were practicing fight moves. Capoeira is creative, it's graceful, it requires strength and is steeped in history and tradition. Okay, now let's move on. So in a moment I want you to pause the video and I want you to see if you can remember any of the stylistic features of Capoeira that you discussed in your first lesson. Okay, so just pause the video, spend 1 minute reflecting on your very first lesson in Capoeira and what are those key things that we look out for, so the stylistic features of Capoeira. Pause the video now. Okay, let's go through the answers. Okay, so in Capoeira, only the hands and the feet touch the floor, okay? There's no other part of the body, it's just the hands and the feet. The movements or the actions are very flowing, so they're very fluid, moving from one to the next. You are constantly moving, so you don't stop, okay? There is that rocking motion which you experience when performing that ginga action. The cartwheel, there is also a swipe of the leg, so lots of swipes, lots of kicks. It's very grounded, so quite low to the ground. There are lots of deep lunges, twists in the upper body, okay, and also, as I previously mentioned, that key action, the Jinga. Okay, on this next slide, I want you to watch this short video clip and see if you can spot any of those stylistic features that I have just mentioned. Whilst watching that video, you may have noticed there were people around the outside, okay? And that is what we call the roda, which I'm going to explain now and then introduce you to some of the rules, as this will be important later on in this unit. Okay, so roda means circle, which is formed by the capoeiristas, or the participants, and also the capoeira instruments, which you heard in that video. There are only 2 capoeiristas that can enter the roda, and they must shake hands before moving to the centre of the roda. If you noticed, that was what happened as people were entering and exiting. They were going back into the roda to the edges of the circle. There is also a capoeira master, okay, and that person is responsible for the space where the roda takes place. They have the maximum authority of the moment and dictate, so they decide who enters or exits the roda. Alright. The roda is considered the inner world of capoeirista, full of positive energy, happiness and companionship. And that is the sort of energy, and those are the sort of things that we would like to try and recreate in the classroom, especially throughout this unit. Okay, so I am going to introduce you to some of the roda rules, okay? This is not going to be one of the first things that you do, but you will definitely be using this as part of your assessment, and you need to understand how the roda works, okay? So here are the rules. There are only 2 participants in the roda at once. Only non-contact improvisation can take place. So that means not physically touching another person, okay? Improvisation is doing things in the moment without any prior planning, okay? Those are 2 terms. We're going to look at that a little bit later on in this unit. Also, third, don't break the energy of the roda. So that positive energy, that happiness that was in there, you've got to keep that going throughout. And then 4, give back to the roda. Okay, so always give energy back, okay? And then your extra challenge would be to really think about how you effectively use focus. So focus is the use of the eyes, okay? And that is whilst looking and engaging with the other capoeirista or the other participant that you are performing with. At the end of this unit, as with all your units in Year 7 and Year 8, you are going to be assessed practically on all the knowledge and skills that you have developed throughout this unit. Okay, so it's a really good idea to start understanding what it is that you'll be learning and how this will link to your final assessment in this unit. So There might be some keywords on here that you might not know yet. That is absolutely fine. They are on the frog site, but you will also be developing this knowledge throughout the unit. So by the end, you should know what all these words, keywords, mean. So for your assessment, you need to demonstrate knowledge of a variety of physical skills. Your choreography uses a dance relationship called action and reaction. And also it uses unison and canon, something which you should know from year 7. You will also be required to provide peer feedback using the correct subject-specific terminology. Alright. The extra challenge is to use expressive focus skills such as projection and focus throughout your performance, and also in your choreography use improvisation sections effectively in your performance. In addition to that, remember we don't forget, we always remember our mental skills. We've got 3 C's and an M. So confidence, commitment, concentration and movement memory. Okay, and just above there in that blue box you will see where you potentially could be depending on the grades that you would get. Okay, so anything from a 1.3 up to a 2.3 is limited, 2.2 to 3.2 is sound, 3.1 to 4.2 is strong, and 4.1 is exceptional for being in year 8. So just take a moment just to have a look at this assessment criteria and make sure that you are familiar with it. So now is time for a Capoeira quiz to test your knowledge on everything that you have learnt in this flip learning video. So in a moment I just want you to take your time, pause the video and write down your responses to the following questions. So make sure you've got a pen and paper at the ready. Okay, let's see how many you can get out of all of these 6 questions. So question number 1. What is the main movement or action in Capoeira? Question number 2. What country did Capoeira originate from? What country did Capoeira originate from? Question 3. What people developed this dance style? So who was it? Remember, at any point in this video you can just pause it to make sure you've got all your answers written down. Question number 4. Capoeira is a mix of what? Question 5. What is the roda? Do you know what roda means? Could you explain to somebody who is in the roda? What is the roda? Question 6. Name 2 rules of the roda in Capoeira. So what are 2 of the 4 rules that you saw on the board in Capoeira? And now it's time for your extra challenge question. What are some of the stylistic features of Capoeira? Remember just to pause the video if you need a bit of time just to write down any answers. Make sure you've got all 6, and if you want to try the extra challenge that you get that down as well. Okay, let's go through the answers to the Capoeira quiz. see how many you got right. Question number 1. What is the main movement in Capoeira? The correct answer should be the ginga. Question number 2. What country did Capoeira originate from? The correct answer is Brazil. Question number 3. What people developed this dance style? It was the slaves. So slaves created this dance style to hide the fact that they were using fighting movements. Question number 4. Capoeira is a mix of what? It's a mix of martial arts combining dance, acrobatics and music. So even if you just got martial arts, that answer would be correct. Question number 5. What is the roda? So the roda is the circle that's formed by the capoeiristas or the participants and also the capoeira instruments. Question number 6. Name 2 rules of the roda in capoeira. So only 2 participants are allowed in the roda at once. It's non-contact improvisation only, okay? Don't break the energy and always give back to the roda. The extra challenge question. What are some of the stylistic features of capoeira? So this includes the ginga, kicks, lunges, rocking motion, the constant movement. There are lots of different answers. So make sure you go back and check if you've got a different answer to on there. And tot up how many questions you got right. Okay, so here is an extra challenge learning task. So there is going to be a link in the comments below, okay? And I would like you to read the article, All You Need to Know About Capoeira. It was published by The Guardian. I want you to make notes answering the following questions. So find out, what does ginga mean? 2, what are the benefits of capoeira? So why would it help us in some way? And then the extra challenge, what other interesting facts did you find? And that comes to the end of your flip learning video. Please remember to check out the frog site, so KS3 or Key Stage 3 Key Dance Skills, and there you'll find all the definitions and of the skills that you'll be learning throughout this unit. And also remember to come back to this video in case you aren't sure about anything or have forgotten little things that will help you along the way throughout this unit.